Appreciate everyone taking their time to be here, and I wanted to introduce my research with observing coyotes, as well as taking the pleasure with working with a bunch of my mentors, and also like taking note of people in open sites and collecting coyote poop.
Yay, coyote poop!
So mainly for my motivation and background, I notice more as we populate throughout the years and the world just expands, so does urbanization. And coyotes, mainly urban coyotes, because rural coyotes are in the forest and hopefully they're great, but the coyotes that are here in the cities, they have to urbanize and they have to learn how to share these open spaces with humans and hopefully like work together. So this photo that I took in one of my open sites in Broomfield, the red outline text box shows hot air balloons landing into this field behind, and please note that in this blue like arrow, this is the coyote's den. So it's extremely close, and that was so concerning for me, and I had no idea why they were doing this, because just as your dogs are afraid of like big items or lightning, what's the difference between coyotes? And I also wanted to note that I took this photo in June, and that's where I noticed more hot air balloons landing here. And to an even bigger disappointment, in July, the 4th of July, they lit fireworks behind there as well. So I did not see the coyotes after then, which was super heartbreaking, but I know it's for their best, because who wants to stick around such noisy places anymore? And for my motivation and background, as working with my mentors and learning more about what really started off this, in 2011, there was a series of coyote attacks that took place in an open site, but with the result, it led to a lot of lethal removal of a bunch of coyotes. When it was just one that was actually doing this harm. So for me, it was just very heartbreaking that these wildlife managements took like the action of just eliminating them without conducting further research. And I feel like it's more important to know what happens in the big picture instead of taking action right away. And I want to hopefully let people know that anthropogenic material, I'll be using that word a lot through my presentation from now on. It's basically trash that like as humans bring into these sites. And I also want to define a transect, because as I'm going to these open spaces and parks, I'm only focusing on a certain area in this park where the coyotes reside and where I can collect more of my data by picking up their poop. And I finally developed my question with spending time in this open space. I wanted to know how does the average of trail users affect the frequency of anthropogenic material found in Coyote Scout. So to dumb it down, I want to know where I'm visiting these sites, because I see a lot of people in the morning jogging, running. By a lot of people being in this place, is it bringing more trash in these sites where the coyotes ingest and later poop it out for me to figure it out and be really worried? So that was basically my whole, I wanted to know if humans were an indicator. And for my methods, basically this whole summer, I was able to visit 6 open space sites in the Denver metropolitan area, including Broomfield, Westminster, and one Boulder site. So with this, I spent a lot of time out there, at least 40 hours a week, from 5 in the morning to 11 in the afternoon to 3 in the afternoon to 6. So it was hectic, but it's important because I feel like I'm doing importance here observing coyotes. And the 3 main key things that I was looking for in these sites was human activity, coyote activity, and the coyote scat collection. And this is a figure that I took from one of my sites. This blue outline in general is the whole like big park that I'm visiting, and in the purple, like the violet color, is the coyote den. This is where they're at, and the purple is just the whole little site I walked around the whole summer, collecting poop, counting people, which is also my main indicator. As I was walking these sites, I had a clicker to count how many people I see often in these areas, and I would just collect scat that I knew was coyote and not dog, which there's so much dog poop, pissed me off. Please clean up after your dog. And when I had my scat collection, I would definitely determine species of origin. As much poop I had in my camera roll, I was like, oh yeah, this is coyote, this is dog, so this is great. I would know date, time, GPS coordinates, trail, transect, elevation, what it contains specifically, and the age of the scat. And so these are some these are some examples of the scat in general that I would collect. I was so excited of finding fresh scat. Like, I did not think I'd be so happy, but it was really great. I would collect old scat as well, and these are just everything that I'd note down for my mentor in the future to use. And these are anthropogenic scats that have plastic. So in these red arrows, you could see pieces of plastic or waste that I would find in this coyote scat. Blue latex, like a plastic ring, and like fibers and clear plastics with wrapper. So knowing this, it was just great for me, collected data, but it's just not great for the coyote. So it's just very important, and I'm glad that I saw that. With my results, sadly, there wasn't such huge plastic data that I got in the end, which is good and bad. Not good for me, but great for the coyotes, just because it's not as important or as huge I thought it would be. But little points that I would get is still valuable. Like, no matter if your data is big or small, data is data. So I still found relationships between people, like human activity, and scat that had plastic. And I just wanted to also implement, I accepted a little bit of defeat here, even though there is a small rate of plastic, like tiny bits of plastic, a very small rate. The presence is still strong because there is a relationship that I found with this. And lastly, I believe that my whole point here is to not blame people for visiting these sites. I don't think people purposefully litter in these places. I just think it could be swept up from like winds, or trash can be brought in, accidental. I just want to implement that coyotes are in these sites. Please look out for them, look out for yourselves and what you bring, and just be considerate that as you dispose your trash properly, you're helping yourself, but you're also making an example that you're using these sites properly. You're taking care of what's around these places. And the babies were so cute, so I was just like doing it for them. So, but thank you everyone here. I appreciate you all.